Joining us right now is Member Parliament of the Shiv Sena, Mr. Arvind Sawant. Mr. Sawant, good evening. A lot has been said on Uddhav Thackeray, almost making this appear as if it is his last cabinet meeting. Are we to assume that Uddhav Thackeray has made up his mind that in case the Supreme Court decides that there will be no floor test, or there will be a floor test, beg your pardon, then Uddhav Thackeray is going to resign before the trust vote?
I don't know who has told all these things. I think he has not said it that way. As far as the cabinet meeting is concerned, he has expressed his views. He has said, to all these colleagues, he has said thanks to every one of you. Then he is so magnanimous and said that if at all I have hurt you sometime, then let me give me pardon me please for that. But that's all two sentences he has said. And the third one he said that my own people have stabbed me back. So therefore,
which is exactly why, Mr. Sawant, Mr. Sawant, I ask you this question. It almost sounds like a farewell speech.
Yeah, it sounds, no doubt why I should hide it. It sounds like that only. But it sound before that. When he left Varsha, the residence of the official residence of the chief minister, they vacated it immediately to prove and requested his own people come back and will resolve the issue, and to prove that he has vacated the official residence. Show me a single incident.
Okay, we seem to have lost that audio and video connection.
Yeah, such a genuine, thorough gentleman has been treated by his own colleagues. You can say one follows, in fact, but then can't help it. This is what has happened. It's a fact. It's a fact.
No, but then what happens, Mr. Sawant? What happens to your party? It is now almost certain that in case the Supreme Court decides that the floor test must go on, in that sense, I think the messaging is very clear on what Mr. Uddhav Thackeray is going to do.
No, even in that case, he will not run away from that. He may come. Who says he will not come? Let him decide it. He has not declared it that way. Your perception is that he is not going to come for that. I don't think he'll run away from that. He will also attend it and see what his own colleagues, what they are doing. Let them face to face, and let him look into his eyes and say that we have left you. That is what we would like to see.
No, so you're saying that this option must be kept open for carrying out a proper floor test and not resign beforehand.
I couldn't hear you, sir.
You're saying that there should be a floor test and Mr. Uddhav Thackeray must not resign before the floor test.
I don't feel he will resign that way. He will appear for court. What is that? Courageous man, yeah.
Even if that means that he faces a crushing defeat.
Maharashtra has never ever got such a wonderful chief minister just because he is my Shiv Sena leader. No. He has performed.
Where does this leave Mr. Sawant? Where does this leave Mr. Uddhav Thackeray and his faction of the Shiv Sena?
He has been selected a number of times.
You see, it's not the first time that the Shiv Sena has been split. I'm just saying that where does this incident leave the authority of Uddhav Thackeray?
No, when the eclipse comes, the sun's light also gets dark, but the eclipse also goes on and the light again shines. That it should remain. Remember, and it is the history of the Shiv Sena, maybe the oldest party in the country right now, 56 years of Shiv Sena. So many incidents have taken place in the life of Shiv Sena. And we have come again and again like a phoenix bird from ashes. They come again and got the throne of the power also. So this is before 95, just think of it. What has happened? In 77, what has happened? Shiv Sena was not there.
But then, Mr. Sawant, before you tell me a lot about history, my final question to you, all this claim that was being made that many of the rebels who are there in Guwahati, they are in touch with us. Now with this almost farewell speech sounding cabinet session and the manner in which you're speaking, it appears that you don't have the numbers.
Maybe. It is a fact now. He has 2/3 members with him. He is showing his number. Why we should hide about it? But are they really? Many of them have been deceived and been taken to their country. Then we'll come to know when
and what about this,
assembly.
Mr. Sawant? What
That
about
will
this
be
last
no, why
minute,
we should worry about that?
remembering of Hindutva? That when you formed the government, then at that time their perception was that you have ditched Hindutva, and now when you're perhaps staring at a possibility of your government going away, quickly renaming of city names, is this a last ditch attempt to kind of convince people that we stand for Hindutva? After all, these names never changed in 2.5 years.
When are you asking this question? Are you convinced with yourself?
Why?
Are you convinced with yourself we have left Hindutva? Ever? Can we? Did you not observe what Uddhav has done during last 2.5 years?
So in 2.5 years, you never changed this name.
It's not true. These are all perception being created.
Aurangabad's name stayed for 2.5 years when you were in power.
Okay.
It's only now, at the last minute,
people who are raising this question, just listen to me. The people who are raising this question, Devendra Fadnavis was chief minister. BJP was in power for 5 years. Why they could not do it? Did you ever thought of it? We are in alliance with Congress and NCP. Till we could do it, we were with them. Shiv Sena and BJP was there. Devendra Fadnavis was the chief minister of the BJP was there. Why he could not do it for the past 5 years? Why not? Why don't you ask that question to them? You are asking a alliance which is with Congress, and that's a ridiculous thing, sir. So therefore, I ask you whether you yourself get convinced to.
No, it's not about me being convinced. My duty is to ask a question because something did not happen for 2.5 years. Your alliance partners did not agree when you made this suggestion, and now perhaps at the fag end, suddenly in the last cabinet meeting, a decision like this has been taken.
You are master of it. You tell me, government is a continuous process. Whether it is first day, many decisions the central government took before the election of 2019. Just go and watch the decision taken by the government. Why? You are in power. You are solely in power. You were in majority. It's unlike Shiv Sena. We were not in majority. They were in majority.
Sure.
The government was of three party over here. Still, they took so many decisions before the elections. And number of decisions when the some assembly elections are taking in the different states, the decisions taken by the central government, you observe it and say it.
Okay.
So this happens in politics. We should accept it. That's all. Thank you.
All right, Arvind Sawant, thank you very much. Let's see what happens. That smile on your face.
No worry.
Is a mark of confidence.
We are soldiers. We are soldiers. We are soldiers. We don't cry. We fight.
Okay.
That's what I said. We are like a phoenix bird.
All the best, Mr. Sawant. Thank you very much for joining us.